You know, the one thing I failed to take into account when I started collecting over 150 tropical, somewhat large houseplants is what happens when I have to move. So that's my situation, and I'm hoping that some of you can relate as well. But you'll want to stick around because I have a few things to highlight, such as a quick repotting session with plants that desperately needed it before moving. Also, I'm curious to know if you guys can help me out with something. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to help me move. But if you have pets, what do you do with pets, especially dogs, that like to get into plants? We're going to touch base on that in a little bit, but first, take a wide look. And welcome to what I like to call Disaster Canyon as I start to separate and put all these plants into plant boxes and crates. Oh, also, another reason why you want to stick around is because in just a bit, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the place that I'm moving into. But, you know, oh man, I really love this place so much, and it's so beautiful, and it has provided me with so much joy over the last 3.5 years of living here in downtown Denver, which I'm going to stay here, by the way. A little bit more on that in just a bit. But first, man, I have spent the last 3.5 years redesigning and redecorating this place based off of my tropical plants into different styles, designs, and awesome aesthetic looks based on the season. I like to do it at least quarterly. That is my goal, is to do it quarterly. And I have to say, out of all of those designs and stuff, I loved the Christmas holiday seasonal one that I did this past season. That one was a blast. I really loved the way that the colors popped in it, and everything about it just brought so much joy to me during that time, and I will always love that design. So why, oh why, Kevin, would you decide to leave your tropical oasis behind? Well, little life update, I got married. Alejandro and I, we're going to be getting a townhome together, and it's got so much more space for all of these beautiful plants, but also 2 dogs, Kuka and Tequila. Kuka is a little settled in her age, but Tequila is rambunctious, and she is the sort of pup, well, Alejandro says, well, kind of get into plants, you know. So I'm curious to know if you guys have any suggestions about how to deter your dogs from getting into your plants. Please let me know because, you know, I love Kuka and Tequila, but I've never had pets that would get into plants, if you know what I mean. And as much as I love them and as cute as they are, I love these plants way more. I'm just kidding. But seriously though. So yeah, let me know because I need some advice on this. But one thing that I also need advice on is finding more time to be able to repot these plants before I go, which is in a week. So I did some of that today. It is one of the most stressful things before you're moving is having to repot plants. Like repotting this Philodendron biliaceae slash Arabapotens hybrid. I love it. It's so cute. Those are 2 of my favorite plants, by the way. And yeah, I have been needing to repot this for, I think 2 months now. And why? Why, you ask? Well, look at that. I mean, at least it's got some healthy roots, right? But man, oh man, this baby has needed a repotting for a minute now. And that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to use this plastic black pot that I have because I just, you know, I don't have any other ones that are like super duper large. So that's what we're going to do, guys. But yeah, I'm curious to know when you folks have moved in this situation, have you guys run into situations where you have needed to do some desperate last minute repotting? If so, do you have any advice? Because I could really use it. So please leave it in the comment section below. And in the meantime, I'm going to actually, yeah, I'm going to pull this baby out, and it's got these long aerial roots that start poking out of the side, and so this should be nice because then I can kind of just pot those into there, and this is just like one of, I think, maybe one of 5 plants or 6 plants that I need to repot before moving. So any advice would be helpful, guys. And so, yeah, that's what I'm concerned about the most in thinking about it, is just kind of like, oh man, there's so many other plant chores that I had to do that I never got around to because I was putting them off. I have nobody to blame but myself, and that is always the case here. But also, I want to know if you guys have a bilietier or an araba opotens, because they are beautiful. Climbing philodendron. I can't get this aerial root to like nudge down. I'm like, please just stay down. Stop making this more difficult for me. Okay, there we go. I finally got it under control, I think. And yeah, what's nice about this hybrid though is that with the araba upwards, it has those beautiful maroon back color leaves, and so I love the fact that it has the billy look in the front. It's like a mullet almost. A billy in the front and an Autobot in the back. Never really thought about it that way. And of course, I'm using my chunky aeroid soil mix because that is what these climbing aeroids love. It's a breathable, easy to move through soil mix. Features cocoa coir, some cocoa coir nuggets, a lot of perlite, perlite, activated charcoal, some orchid bark, and ooh. Wow, that was really easy, actually. Here I am thinking to myself, that is going to be stressful. Why do I put things off when I know that it can just be really easy? I mean, I've told you guys this before, but I really just make things more difficult for myself. But, with my climbing plants, that's kind of one of the things that I'm struggling with thinking about moving them around, is that and having to go into a new place is the fact that I'm like, oh man, well, these plants are tall, they're on moss poles, and that's just going to be stressful to move. And hopefully it's not. I think the fact that I'm moving to a larger space in my building, and the fact that I'm in my building, I don't have to move them outside of the building, but I do have to move them down 7 floors. I think that's going to be the only stressful part. And I think I'm going to do it at night when there's not a lot of people around, because moving plants, especially large plants, when there's people around, is going to be stressful, especially when they're in the elevator and stuff. But yeah, there goes one, and I'll take care of the rest. So unless you guys want to help, you're like, no. Normally, I am a planner, somebody who plans well in advance, but alas, when it came to this situation, I did wait the last minute for repotting some plants. But you know what? Who hasn't run into that situation? Have you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Also, yeah, I was going to take you guys on a little tour of the new place. And so only going to show you a little sneak peek here, but it is beautiful. Nearly twice the size of my current place here in downtown Denver. And I'll still be in downtown Denver, but going to have 2 floors to work with when it comes to plant design. And I'm really excited, especially to pair up with Alejandro, because he's such a great interior designer, and come up with a new, cool urban jungle of our own. Cool part is the fact that we have these really massive windows that overlook one of the main streets over here near Coors Field, and so we'll get to put up a plant display. People get to walk by and see it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with other folks. But alas, that is it for now. I, though, am going to keep you guys updated on the progress. It's going to be stressful. I mean, do you guys have any advice for me aside from good luck? Let me know, please, in the comments. But I figured, as I wrap things up here, my oasis, my little jungle home, my urban jungle, I thought it would be cool to kind of end on some more of my favorite decorating designs. Wish me luck, and I'll see you guys in the next video.